Robredo and Marcos Alliance versus Sara Duterte for 2028. So ngayon maraming mga usap-usapin na yung pagbisita daw ni BBM sa Naga City kay Leni Robredo ay binibigyan ng kulay. Sinasabi nila na ito daw ay pagsuyo daw ni President Bongbong Marcos kay Leni Robredo para makipag-alyansa para sa 2028 laban kay Sara Duterte. Yun yung sinasabi ng mga netizens at ibang mga political commentators, no? In fact, marami mga nag-react sa mga possibility na to at tinanong sa mga several mga liberal stalwarts tulad ni Congressman Egay Erice ng Caloocan kung siya ba ay sang-ayon dito. Sinasabi daw niya kung buhay pa daw si President Noynoy Aquino, talagang tutul daw siya sa gintong direksyon kasi hindi daw sila pantay na mga mga prinsipyo at sinasabi din ni Kiko Aquino D kung siya daw ay tatanungin, tutul din siya. Si Kiko Aquino D naman ay apo ni President Aquino. Ngayon naman, ang sinasabi naman ng mga ibang political analyst tulad ni Antonio Contreras, ito daw ang posibleng alliance or even at best could be a tandem daw. Pwede daw mag-vice president si President Bongbong Marcos kay Leni Robredo. Ang sinasuggest ng iba, kung sinasabi ni Antonio Contreras, tong alliance na to could possibly beat Vice President Sara Duterte's bid for 2028 presidency kasi this could be the combination daw. Ang sinasabi naman ng mga ibang political analyst tulad ni Alan Herman na yes, makakadagdag to pero also may mga fans din na mababawasan kasi syempre kumbaga madi-dishearten sila sa prinsipyo na magkasalungat or magkaibang point of view na tingin nila dun sa Marcos versus the Yellow movement, no? So may plus minus yan pero syempre kailangan malaman kung talagang mas marami yung plus versus the minus. Yun yung sinasabi ng mga ibang mga political analysts. Ngayon naman, pag binabasa ko ang mga comment section, marami mga nagsasabi na parang kain suka daw or kinain yung suka kung matutuloy man tong alliance na to with Leni Robredo and President Bongbong Marcos. Kasi sinasabi nila na during the past two elections for Vice President and President, marami mga sinabi si Leni Robredo na hindi daw dapat pagkatiwalaan si Bongbong Marcos noon ay dahil sinabi pa nga niya at nakukot daw siya sa ibang mga videos na sinabi niya during the debates na nagsisinungaling daw siya sa ibang issues at hindi daw siya maaasahan tuwing may delubyo o problema. Parati siyang unreliable. Yun yung mga exact terms daw na nagawang memes sa ating mga netizens online. Ngayon, Dad, ano ang analysis mo kung sama ang Leni Robredo plus President Bongbong Marcos in an alliance or maybe a tandem for the 2028 elections versus Sara Duterte?
Siguro yung tandem medyo unlikely yun, no? Highly unlikely yung magkasama sila as a president or vice president si Bongbong Marcos for this 2028 election. That's a very highly unlikely scenario. Pero yung alyansa siguro suporta, no? Yung sinasabi nga natin kahit na nung sa last vlog natin na maaring sumuporta ng si President Bongbong Marcos kay Leni, no? So that's a possibility. Pero maaring he will do it also quietly or behind the curtains lamang, no? Kasi nga, siyempre, yung kanilang mga supporters, iba-iba rin yung kanilang mga pananaw, no? Ang mga supporters kasi ng mga Pinklawan o Dilawan, they are definitely opposed to the President Bongbong Marcos having a tandem with them. But kung siguro silent alliance, baka maaari yon. But I'd rather make an outside of the box thinking, no? Yung sinasabi nga nilang yung outside of the box thinking, yung hindi pangkaraniwan itong maiisip o sa iisipin natin, pero kung talagang gusto ng pamahalaan na manalo si Leni, for example, no, ang pinakamagandang katandem niya outside of the box is si Bongo, si Senator Bongo, because that will win the Visayas and Mindanao votes, no? So that's a possibility that could be a real threat to the presidency of Sara Duterte. Para naman kay Sara Duterte to match that kind of tandem, siguro mas maganda kung makuha naman niya si Mayor Magalong ng Baguio City as her vice president because mabubuo dito yung North and South na tandem, no? Kasi si Vice President Leni o si Mayor Leni ng Naga is from Luzon. Si Bongo naman is from Visayas and Mindanao. Samantalang si Sara is from Mindanao, kaya niyang yung Visayas and Mindanao votes, at si Magalong naman Ilocano na taga Baguio, so kaya din niyang bitbitin yung Norte at Luzon, no? So yun ang mga nakikita kong the best tandem. But of course, maraming mga issues dito, no? First of all, si Senator Bongo, alam naman natin, kaalyado ni President Duterte. So, sasama ba siya kung sakasakali kay Leni? But take note, that Bongo's role has been always been a supporter, no? Support cast siya kay President Duterte. At siguro nakukwento na rin ng iba, nababalitaan natin ang chismis, hindi naman talaga sila in good terms with Vice President Sara Duterte. Although nagtutulungan pero hindi talaga in good terms. Pangalawa, kung ikaw naman na sa kampo ni Duterte, mas maganda rin na nandun si Bongo para kung sakaling hindi sila manalo, meron pa rin silang kakampi o kaalyado doon sa kabila. But that will really give Vice President Leni or Mayor Leni to become a real contender or challenger for the presidency if they have that kind of tandem. Yung nakikita natin. And as far as Vice President Sara is concerned, pag nakuha din naman niya si Mayor Magalong kung sakasakali, at alam naman natin medyo positive naman ang relasyon ni Mayor Magalong with the former President Duterte, then siguro magkakaroon din ng very strong challenger sila, no? Kumbaga sila yung pinakamalakas din na puwersa kung sakasakali, parang North and South sa kabila, ganun din, no? Na Luzon and Visayas, Mindanao makokobera nilang, yun ang nakikita natin. But for President Bongbong Marcos naman, I seriously think that siguro after this magre-retiro na yan, no? Kasi nakikita naman natin, no, na medyo tumatanda na rin siya, napapagod na rin, at I don't think it would be, politically wise for him to still get into the game, no? Kasi medyo yung rating din niya medyo mababa na rin, no? Baka maging pabigat pa siya dun sa kanyang pangulo, no? So it's safer for him to leave a better legacy of his presidency, that he stepped down and he respected the democratic principle of the Philippines.
And Dad, Morgan, the question I have for you is Bongbong Marcos so scared of VP Sara Duterte winning the 2028 election na mukhang liniligawan niya si ex-VP Leni Robredo to run as president? Kasi according to the latest survey of who is the most or top ranking for the upcoming 2028 presidential election, si Sara Duterte pa rin for sure clear number 1. Pero ang surprising, ang number 2 sa survey na yun ay si ex-VP Leni Robredo. So technically speaking, siya ang best contender to run against VP Sara Duterte somehow. So ang tanong ng maraming mga netizen, takot na takot ba si BBM kaya nililigawan niya ang number 2 spot dun sa presidential survey? Kasi ang sinasabi rin ng mga netizen, pinapoint out na pumunta siya ng Naga, nagsuot siya ng pink socks, at mukhang liniligawan niya si VP Leni to run as the next president, siguro with the support of Malacanang, siguro yung budget ng Malacanang. Pinapoint out rin ng mga ibang netizen na nung nagkaroon ng lindol at saka mga calamity sa province of Cebu or the island of Cebu, ang dinonate or sinuporta ng Malacanang ay 200 million pesos to help with the damages, to help with the victims. Pero pinoint out ng mga netizens na sa Naga City alone, naglaan ng budget ang Malacanang ng 500 million pesos to build a stadium or a coliseum sa Naga City. So connecting the dots, maraming mga netizens sinasabi nila na mukhang panliligaw to ni BBM kay Leni Robredo. Maraming mga netizen nga nagsasabi na BBM basically stands for Balimbing Marcos kasi he fought Leni Robredo twice. He sided with her opponent. He sided with the Dutertes who were also her opponents. And now, it seems like diniligawan niya si Leni. Kaya people are saying na si Bongbong Marcos, wala talaga siyang loyalty kundi sa sarili niya, kundi opportunistic siya to support whoever he thinks can beat his opponent. Ngayon, in fairness naman to President Bongbong Marcos, even though he ran against VP Leni twice and lost to her once, technically, wala naman siyang masamang sinabi or wala naman siyang opposition kay VP Leni. So, technically, on his side, wala siyang bad blood kay VP Leni. It's VP Leni who said many things that were negative about President Bongbong Marcos. Dad, do you think that if Malacanang were to pour all of its strength into VP Leni, would she actually still run, considering that she lost a very bad loss against President Bongbong Marcos? And two, if she were to win, would she even spare Bongbong Marcos from all the controversies that his administration has today?
Well, isa-isahin natin yung mga issues, no? Kasi I would like to take exception from the other comments of the netizens na sinasabi nila, no? Yung sinasabi nilang nililigawan ba ng ating Pangulo si dating Vice President Leni na ngayon Mayor ng Naga para sa ganun magkaroon sila ng magandang alyansa? It's very possible, no? Kasi siyempre, as a president, you have to look beyond your presidency. Alam naman natin kasi kahit nasabihin ng mga politiko na hindi kami gaganti, hindi namin babalikan yung mga nagsalita ng masama sa atin, hindi natin maalis na tao pa rin sila. Na pagkalaban ka at may mga sinabi kang hindi maganda sa iyong kalaban, hindi alam mo na maaari kang balikan at kadalasan binabalikan yung sinasabi nga natin. Hindi natin maalis yung vindictiveness sa bawat tao, di ba? Lahat yan, no? Kahit na Kristiyano, minsan hirap na hirap siyang pigilan yung sarili niya na hindi maging vengeful, di ba? Pero pag nasaktan ng gusto niya, siyempre, una, kung hindi ka man saktan, pangalawa, definitely, hindi ka niya papaboran, ano? At sisiguraduhin niya na magbayad ka sa mga kasalanan na ginawa mo. Kung hindi man yun, hindi ka niya talaga bibigyan ng palugit, di ba? Yun ang mga challenges dito. Kaya nga, siyempre, tama yung sinabi mo ron, yung isang point doon na kung sakaling manalo si Vice President Sara Duterte, will Bongbong Marcos and his group suffer the consequences of what's going on right now? Well, definitely, no, most of them will not be spared, no, kasi nga talagang kung may mali, talagang hindi sila makakatakas doon. Yun ang tiyak na mangyayari na nakikita natin, no. So, kahit nasabihin pa na hindi vengeful yung susunod na uupo, definitely pagka magkalaban, meron talagang ganong klaseng pananaw ang tao, yung ganong klaseng emosyon, no. Kung hindi man siya, let's say for the sake of argument, na yung nanalong Pangulo si Sara Duterte, for the sake of argument, at sinabi niya na, o sige, wag tayong maging vengeful. Kasi kinakailangan pakita natin sa taong bayan na tayo naririto para maging Pangulo. Pero yung mga nakapaligid sa kanya na mabibigyan ng pwesto at mabibigyan ng kapangyarihan, tiyak yun na dahil alam nilang kalaban ka, gagawa sila ng paraan na mapahirapan ka. So that's why if President Bongbong Marcos is trying to establish an alliance with Vice President Leni, former Vice President Leni, because he thinks that he could be the next possible contender or challenger or the strongest challenger to Vice President Sara, then there's nothing wrong with that. He's a human being, he's a politician, there's nothing wrong with that. But second, yung sinasabi ng mga netizens na balimbing siya, well, hindi ko rin masasabi yun kasi katulad sinabi mo, sinabi mo rin nga na hindi niya kinutya kailanman si Vice President Leni. Hindi niya ininsulto, hindi siya nagsalita ng hindi maganda laban kay Vice President Leni. So, in short, hindi siya balimbing because he has always been on the neutral side when he was campaigning. So, in that process, maaari siguro yung Dilawan ang medyo hindi happy sa kanya because of what the father did. Kaya lang sinasabi natin, the sin of the father is not the sin of the son, no? So, kaya yun ang mga parang paratang sa kanya. So, in fairness, I just like to be fair. So, in the first place, kung he is trying to win the support of Leni or alliance of Leni because he wants to somehow safeguard the future of their political career, there's nothing wrong with that. To call him a balimbing, I don't think that's also true because hindi naman niya talagang siniraan si Vice President Leni. He has always been neutral during the campaign. We heard all that, narinig natin lahat yun, no? Pero ang tanong na nga lang, simple lang. Kahit nasabihin nating suportahan ng Palasyo ng Malacanang si dating Vice President Leni laban kay Sara, kaya bang manalo ng ganong kahit na anong suporta? Kasi nga nakikita naman natin na napakalaki pa rin ang base support ng ating Vice President Sara Duterte, nasa 40% yata kung di ako nagkakamali, no? So, ang masakit nito, syempre, kung sakali pa man may mangyaring hindi maganda sa kanyang ama sa Netherlands, mas lalong magkakaroon ng sympathy vote. Yun ang nakikita natin. Kaya nga, ito'y tinitimbang natin The sympathy vote against the corruption issues na namamayani ngayon sa ating bayan, na galit ang tao sa korupsyon. So yun ang challenge dito, yung tinitimbang ng mga tao ngayon, galit sa korupsyon, o at the same time may sympathy vote kay Pangulong Duterte. So ito yung pinakamalaking hurdle na dapat ma-overcome ng sino mang kandidato.
Ngayon, Morgan, masasabi mo ba na when it comes to voting, people will want to vote for VP Sara Duterte if they want to see the Marcos administration punished for the flood control corruption issues?
Ngayon na nakikita ko doon, iba-iba ang mga perspective, ano. Those who want to see the flood control issue punishment can go both ways, no. They can either go to Sara Duterte or they can go yellow kasi they would believe that most of these candidates would be not in alliance with the administration. Of course, magbabago ang paradigm, ano, kung nagkaroon ng official alliance ng yellow at ng administrasyon. Pero whether it's a net positive or a net negative, what do you think? Is it a net positive or a net negative for the yellows to have an official alliance? Like official talaga, like officially they're together and they're going out together. Like let's hypothetically make it official. BBM is officially with the yellows. Will that be a net positive or a net negative?
I think it's a net negative, no? Kasi nga katulad sinabi natin, una, yung kanilang mga followers, magkasalungat yung kanilang mga paninindigan at paniniwala. Una yon. Pangalawa, syempre, ang nangyayari kasi ngayon, syempre, corruption issues, no? Kahit nasabihin naman natin na hindi naman talaga nadamay si presidente o hindi siya talaga natutukoy pa o kung may natukoy man, wala naman talaga sapat na ebidensya. Pero meron kasing ganung perception. Yung perception na yun magiging negative yon kasi nga si Lenny is seen to be a corruption concerned leader, no? Ibig sabihin alam natin na wala man lang na ipataw na corruption issues laban sa kanya. So, ibig sabihin concerned siya pagdating sa corruption. Alam ng tao yun na kahit na papano, kung siya ay mahalal, kahit na papano, lilinisin niya o hindi niya ito-tolerate yan o hindi niya palalakihin yan o hindi niya pagbibigyan yan. No? So, because of that image, tapos nasama yung image na may negative na image ngayon because of what's going on, kasi nga parang ang nangyayari, parang tingin ng mga sambayanan is that parang bakit hindi pa rin talaga napaparusahan yung mga karamihan sa mga gumawa ng katiwalian sa ating bayan. May mga napaparusahan pero parang hindi pa rin kompleto. Kaya siyempre naapektuhan yung perception sa ating Pangulo. So siguro I would say that in their best judgment, they might not do it openly. They might do it quietly and silently. So that ikaw naman, kung ikaw din si Vice President Lenny, siyempre, if you're really going to go for the presidency, kasi hindi pa naman siya talaga na nagdideklara at parang ayaw pa niya, no? So maaring hindi siya, maaring iba rin sa mga campaign nila, maaring Senator Makino o si Senator Risa ang tumakbo. So, pero at least ang kanilang torch o yung kanilang pinapangalandakan is against corruption, contra corruption sila, no? So that image, that kind of slogan or that kind of principle might win also the support of the majority of the Filipinos, no? Kasi nga yan ang nagiging kumbaga may burden din si Vice President Sara Duterte ngayon kasi nga kinasuhan siya ng mga issues to corruption at may mga impeachment process na maproproseso, bagamat sa tingin ko it will not prosper because majority of the Senate might not support that. No, so even if the majority supports it, they have 2/3 of the Senate who will support her being impeached. No, so maaring hindi umabot doon. Pero siyempre dahil sa mga ilalatag na ebidensya o ilalatag na mga akusasyon, baka maapektuhan yung kanyang kredibilidad, mabawasan. No, so yung kanyang 40% maaring mabawasan yon kung mailalatag yung mga ebidensya na magiging kapanipaniwala sa ating mamamayan. So this is where Lenny may have her chance, no, or Bam or Risa, they may have their chance if they can really promote themselves and project themselves as truly the anti-corruption crusader, no. So yun ang advantage. But again, katulad sinabi natin, for Visayas and Mindanao, napakalaki ng votes na yon, no. So if they can get somebody there who is also known, recognized, and kumbaga popular, like Senator Bonggol thinking outside the box, then maybe just maybe they can do some possibility to win the game, no? But right now, hands down, syempre, si Vice President Sara Duterte pa rin talaga ang frontrunner.
Ngayon, mayroong isa pang paradigm na pinag-uusapan ng mga ibang political analysts na kung official alliance, masyado mabigat because baka magka-plus-minus effect, baka mag-negative lang or kung mag-net positive man, baka very negligible, parang sayang lang yung pag-a-alliance. What if unsolicited endorsement ni President Bongbong Marcos, as in he just says that he prefers or he endorses the yellows, whether it's Lenny, Risa or Bam, he just endorses them unsolicitedly, pampadagdag lang. Is that something that would probably do a net positive na hindi sila in official alliance but just an unsolicited endorsement? Ang tingin mo dun?
Well, if I were President Marcos, assuming if I were him, I think it's better for him to keep quiet and stay neutral, no? Kasi nga, assuming for the sake of argument na natalo yung kandidato niya at nanalo siya, lalo lamang niya binigyan ng fire, no? He added fuel to the fire, no? From the camp of Sara Duterte, di ba? Vice President Sara Duterte might take a very, kumbaga, statesman-like approach, no? That hindi siya makikialam, but the people around her will definitely go after him more so aggressively, no? So I think it's better for him to stay a statesman, be a professional politician, and make sure that he leaves a good legacy during his term of presidency. So I don't think he would do it officially, and it would not be beneficial also for the vice president.
Siguro I'm just going to say a very painful opinion kasi in my personal opinion, whoever President Bongbong Marcos endorses will probably have a net negative for sure. And just to state the facts, prior to the last 2025 Senate election, yung Magic 12 ng Malacanang were in the top 12 of the Senate polls. Basically, sure win na dapat ang mga kandidato ng Malacanang na sinusuportahan nila yung slate ni BBM. Pero after he allowed the arrest or actually initiated the arrest of President Rodrigo Duterte, most of his slate nahulog sila sa polls. In fact, marami sa kanila natalo. And I'm sure marami mga politiko that actually sided with him thinking na mayroon silang sure win sa Senate na natalo. I'm sure marami sa kanila galit. So yung 2025 interim midterm election sa Pilipinas shows na what happened here is whoever President Bongbong Marcos supports will actually end up losing more support from the general public. Kaya I think, kasabi nga ni Dad Morgan, na kung meron siyang unsolicited endorsement or kung meron siyang official endorsement, it will actually cause more people to hate that candidate because of the fact that nagalit sila kay President BBM, not just because of the corruption issue, kasi wala pa nga yung flood control issue nung midterm election eh. Yung main issue dito is he allowed the former President Rodrigo Duterte to be arrested by the ICC, and by doing that, he made the Philippines look weak, he made the Philippine justice system look bad, and he made himself look bad by going after his political enemy by having him imprisoned somewhere else. So, Morgan, do you think that in general, whoever he goes with, net negative ang kanyang support, basically pabigat lang si BBM sa next election?
Well, ang personal analysis ko right now, no, the best move that one of the best moves that the president could take is I agree with Dad, no. He becomes the middleman or becomes the fair statesman. Kasi sa akin, yung away nila ni Duterte and the Marcos camp was caused not by himself. In yung analysis ko, because I see the president as a very chill and peacemaking man. He doesn't like to go into wars. In fact, the fact that he's not saying anything bad about other people, dun pa lang yung analysis ko sa kanya. He's not a man who will antagonize or he will initiate antagonizing another camp. Ang nakita kong mga possibility na nangyari dito, marami mga tao niya, tulad ng sinasabi mo, maybe the president is okay, but yung mga tao sa ilalim ay nag-instigate ng war against the vice president, and because of that, it got blown out of proportion, kaya nag-away sa kanila. Ang personal analysis ko, if the president could reach out equally to all parties, whether it's the yellow side or the Duterte side, and just show them that he will be fair to them. Maybe, just maybe, he could build a true peace between all camps and bring back the true unity that he promised during the elections. Anong tingin mo, Dad?
Well, I agree, no, because nakikita naman natin, no, objective tayo, maging objective tayo, no, nakikita naman natin na si President BBM is really a kind gentleman. Nakikita naman natin yun, no, hindi siya pala away, kahit naman siya marami na sinabing hindi maganda sa kanya, wala kang narinig na masamang salita sa kanya, no. Lagi niya sinasabi lang na good luck or whatsoever, pero hindi siya nagsasabi ng masama openly or minumura niya openly kung sino man yung naninira sa kanya. In fairness to him, no, he may not be the perfect or ideal president, but definitely he is a statesman, he is a kind gentleman, and he is a, kumbaga, gentleman who seeks for peace, no, rather than war, no. Kumbaga right now, kasi katulad sinabi niyo, yung mga nakapaligid kasi, no, they really make the issues bigger than it should be, no. So syempre kaya lalong lumalala kasi nagkakaroon ng maraming intriga, nagkakaroon ng maraming kwento, kaya nagkakaroon sila ng mga hidwaan at misunderstanding. But as a professional, as a person, the way we see him, he's really a very kind person. So yun, no, saka forgiving pa sa nakikita natin. No? That's the reason why maybe God blessed him to become the president. In spite of the fact that he should have not been, because yung kanyang ranking at that time medyo mababa compared to Vice President Sara when they were trying to go for the presidency, di ba? But God allowed this to happen because siguro God sees his heart, no? The problem lang is kasi the people around him or the people who are with him somehow abused the system or the power that they had or the authority, no? And then along the way, they created this kind of misunderstanding between him and the vice president, no? Kasi nga tulad sinabi nyo, prior to this flood control issue, medyo nagkakaroon na ng negative perception sa ating Pangulo, no? Pero lalo pang lumala nitong because of this flood control issue, in spite of the fact na siya yung nag-expose, pero syempre parang ang command responsibility pa rin na sa kanyang balikat, no? So kung ikaw yung Pangulo, una, ba't hindi mo naawat to? Pangalawa, kung ikaw man na nag-expose, bakit hindi mo inaksyonan agad ito? Bakit napakatagal ng proseso? Pangatlo, kung ikaw man yung Pangulo at yung mga kaibigan mo na ituro na, bakit hindi mo man lang sila talagang makasuhan at may pakulong, no? Kaibigan, kamag-anak, whatsoever. So, yun ang nakikita ng mga tao na parang may command responsibility, may weakness. Kaya nagne-negative yung perception, parang pinoprotektahan ng mga tao niya, yung mga ibang tao niya o yung mga ibang nakinabang dito sa flood control issue. So, that's why it's possible na itong negative perception na to might pass on to whoever he will endorse, no? Kahit naman nung panahon ni President GMA, wag na tayong lumayo, no? Nung panahon kasi nagkaroon din ng mga issues o scandal nung panahon ni Pangulong Arroyo, no? At medyo bumaba din yung kanya, dumausdos yung kanyang rating towards the 2010 election. Kaya nakita natin nung inendorso niya that time si Secretary Gibo Teodoro, medyo malayo rin yung kanyang rank sa presidential battle, no? Ang nanalo noon si Noynoy Aquino. So laban kay Mar Rojas, kay Gibo Teodoro na government bet, no? So that's why nung nanalo naman si Noynoy, nagkaroon ng kaso si Gloria Arroyo, nakulong din, no? So kahit nasabihin nating hindi si Noynoy mismo nakikialam, pero yung mga tao sa paligid niya talagang pinarusahan din nila si President Gloria Arroyo during that time. So ganun din ang mangyayari dito, no? So that's why we are saying it would be most prudent for the president to be a statesman, to be the referee, to be the leader that will guide the nation and all the other subsequent leaders to work together towards the growth of the country and progress of the nation rather than siding with anyone. Para na siyang tatay, he should step aside as a father rather than siding with anybody because that will not be good for him, it will not be good for the nation as a whole.
Ngayon, Dad, I know you're saying na dapat maging statesman si President Bongbong Marcos. Pero recently, sinabi nga ni Harry Roque na President Bongbong Marcos wanted to reconcile with VP Sara Duterte to mend the relationship. Pero, ang sabi naman ng Palace spokesperson ni si Claire Castro, sabi niya na fake news daw yun. Now, Dad, even though you're saying na the President BBM is a kind gentleman who wants to be neutral, why is his own mouthpiece saying that he doesn't even want to reconcile his relationship with the VP Sara Duterte? Do you think that, Morgan, if he wanted to be more statesman-like, that he should actually step aside his ego and his pride and find a way to amend his relationship with VP Sara Duterte so that there can be a unity team?
Well, definitely, yung nga sinasabi ko, if the president can act like the middleman and, reach out to everyone, because being the president, you're president of everyone, literally all people, including the opposition, and all citizens of the nation should be taken care of. No one should be favored more than the other. Kaya dapat para sa akin, yun ang nakikita kong true leadership, reaching out to all parties. No, you don't have to give them the same benefits as those who helped you, but at least don't punish them and only be fair with what is true and what is what is right. Be just, be fair, and go by what is the evidence really supposed to be, but be fair to all parties. Anong tingin mo dun, Dad?
Well, ideally, of course, that's the better move, no? Or that's the more prudent direction. But of course, katulad sinasabi natin, ideal setup yon, circumstance. Kasi nga, syempre may mga tao sa paligid mo, no? Paligid niya. So, syempre, yung mga taong yun, yung iba doon talaga nasaktan o nagagalit o merong piko, no? So syempre gusto nilang gumanti rin sa mga nagawa siguro ng group kampo naman ng ating Vice President, no? And vice versa rin, no? Sa kampo ng Vice President, ganun din, no? Galit din sila, meron din sila sama ng loob dahil parang kanilang tingin parang silang tinalikuran o tinraidor, yun ang tingin nila. So meron mga ganun mga tao around you that influences you. Kaya may kasabihan, di ba? Beware of the people you go with because you might become like them, no? So yun ang kasabihan. That's why you have to choose the right people around you, peacemakers, progressive thinkers, and result-oriented people. Kasi if you go around with people na walang gustong gawin kundi palakihin yung apoy, palakihin yung intriga, dito nagkakaroon ng problema ang ating pamumuno at pamamahala.
So mga kababayan, malapit na ang susunod na 2028 election at ang kailangan ng Pilipinas ay better leaders. Kung gusto natin ng better leaders, kailangan mas tumalino rin ang mga Pilipino para ang mga leader na pipiliin nila ang mas tama para sa Pilipinas. Kaya ang layunin ng Ilocano Defenders Party List ay itaas ang antas ng edukasyon para sa lahat ng Pilipino para gumanda ang kinabukasan ng Pilipinas. Ako po ay si Solomon Sai, ang inyong kuya ng bayan.
Dito sa Ilocano Defenders Party List, naniniwala kami, pag edukado ang bayan, tatalino ang bayan, at malalaman nila kung sino yung mga dapat malalaman nila kung sino dapat yung mga liderato na dapat nilang iboto mula councilor, mayor, board member, governor, senator hanggang presidente, kasi lahat ng mga posisyon to, importante to. Hindi lang ang presidente ang nagbubuhat ng Pilipinas, lahat ng mga binoboto nyo ho, yan ho ang mga nagbubuhat ng Pilipinas. Kaya kung edukado ang taong bayan, mas maboboto nila yung mga tamang tao para sa mga tamang posisyon. Edukasyon ang solusyon sa pag-angat ng bayan. Ako si Morgan Sain, yung coach ng bayan.
Mga minamahal kong kababayan, huwag niyong kakalimutan ng inyong kinabukasan ay nakasalalay sa mga mamumuno at mga namamahala na ating iluluklok. Huwag niyong kakalimutan din ng isang kriminal, iba ang isip niyan. ang isang kriminal hindi naniniwala sa pananagutan dahil ang kanyang pag-iisip lagi siyang lalabag sa batas. Yan ang kanyang mental state o mindset. No? Kaya nga pag alam nyo ng kriminal o alam nyo ng medyo nahahalo o nabibigyan ng mga ginagawang krimen, huwag nyo na pong iluklok at huwag nyo na pong ihalal dahil ang sinasanla ninyo kinabukasan ng ating mga kabataan. Yan po ang sinusulong at iminumulat ng Ilocano Defenders sa ating mga kababayan. Ako po si Michael Say, ang inyong dad ng bayan.